You're 19, staring at an empty timeline, exporting a horror video that won't hit double-digit views before the weekend. Fast forward a decade. You're coordinating payroll for an entire creative production house, self-financing a feature film, and staring down the barrel of 10 million subscribers. Between that first bedroom upload and a massive, independent horror enterprise sits a brutal numbers game that filters out 99% of creators before they ever earn a single dime. This is the structural reality of building an internet horror brand from scratch, the hidden pivots, and what it actually costs your sanity to build a self-sustaining studio. Phase 1 is the absolute ground floor, the isolation era. You are 19, turning your bedroom into a makeshift studio after your day job ends. You are completely unmonetized, working inside an ecosystem that won't give you a second look until you cross the platform's baseline threshold of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of collective watch time. Right now, your metrics are dead quiet. You spend your nights scrolling through itch.io, hunting down obscure, low-budget indie horror demos that came out 3 hours ago. You record in pitch darkness, your face illuminated only by the harsh blue glare of your screen, screaming into a cheap microphone that distorts every time a monster jumps into frame. You manually cut your video and audio tracks at midnight, matching your facecam to the gameplay timeline. You try padding the video runtime to cheat the engagement metrics, but your analytics show viewers dropping off before the first minute even concludes. Your dashboard freezes at 9 views. The massive channels you grew up watching made this loop look natural, but the initial barrier to entry isn't creative style. It's surviving the quiet grind of an empty comment section. Most people walk away before they ever see the monetization dashboard unlock. Phase 2 is where you turn it into a high-stakes side hustle. You clear the entry barriers, the digital contract clears, and you're officially in the revenue program. The money is tiny at first, barely clearing the platform's minimum payout threshold to cover your grocery bill, but it changes your psychology. You are officially getting paid to be terrified. Then, the landscape shifts overnight. A solo developer drops a raw, incredibly tense survival game featuring tracking cameras and a complex backstory. You jump on it during launch week. Your reaction isn't the standard theatrical internet scream. It is absolute, suffocating dread mixed with sharp, panicked humor. You build a raw, high-contrast thumbnail capturing the exact second your composure broke. The platform's distribution engine catches the signal. The retention graph holds completely steady through the mid-roll mark, and the system pushes your upload straight to the home page of hundreds of thousands of strangers. The view counter doesn't just climb, it surges. You instantly dump every penny of that first massive payout back into your setup, investing in a high-end dynamic broadcast microphone to give your commentary a deep, cinematic presence. You are editing until the birds chirp, then drinking a Monster Energy drink to make it to your actual job on time. You are outrunning the statistical average of creators who stall at a few $100 a year. But just as you get comfortable, the viral wave passes. Your daily traffic dips by 70%. The trend is dead, and you are officially caught in the niche trap. Phase 3 forces the personality pivot. You cross 6 figures in subscribers, and the physical silver milestone plaque arrives at your house. You mount it on the wall right behind your chair, right where the lens frames it, a permanent receipt of your survival. But the analytics are bleeding, and you know you can't just react to other people's pixelated jump scares forever. You take a massive creative risk to save the channel from obsolescence. You spend 2 weeks scripting a long-form, highly structured video essay, breaking down the psychological horror of a forgotten 90s cult film. You hit publish with your stomach dropping, fully expecting your gaming audience to completely ignore a documentary. Instead, the reception is overwhelmingly positive. The comment section floods with thousands of lines from people who realize they aren't subbed for the game files. They are subbed for your perspective, your pacing, and your storytelling. Your inbox transforms into a business portal. Outside brands start pitching multi-video integrations, offering more money for a single 60-second shoutout than you make in a month of manual labor. You officially quit your day job on a quiet afternoon. You call your mom to explain the career change, and she asks you to repeat yourself slowly one more time. You outsource your rough cuts to an independent contractor so you can focus entirely on script writing. Then, your largest project of the year gets flagged by an automated content sweep, demonetized for dark themes. The appeal is rejected by a bot within an hour, wiping out thousands in projected ad revenue, and your next 2 uploads get buried by an algorithm that quietly throttles flagged channels. You are running on pure adrenaline, filing disputes focus while filming the next video anyway, because the machine doesn't care if you're burning out. It just demands the next asset. To survive the algorithm's censorship, you bypass the volatile AdSense model entirely. You launch a premium merchandise line and establish a direct fan funding portal, turning your core audience into an active shield against automated demonetization. This financial pivot brings you straight into Phase 4, the transition into an independent publisher. You cross 1 million subscribers, the gold milestone plaque lands on your doorstep, and your financial advisor tells you to legally structure your business to protect your assets. You are now inside a fraction of a percent of the entire internet ecosystem. But instead of just reacting to the horror community, you decide to direct it. Using your channel's accumulated capital, you hire a developer and step into the role of writer and director for your own free-to-play indie horror game. Utilizing simple, stylized 2D graphics and hyper-specific jump-scare mechanics designed to trigger internet algorithms, the release creates a massive, self-referential cycle. You open your laptop on a weekend and watch hundreds of smaller channels streaming your game, mimicking your old presentation styles, screaming at audio cues you mixed, feeding the exact same digital engine that built your career in the first place. Your operation scales to a team of 4, a lead editor, a thumbnail designer, and a project manager. You are clearing massive monthly revenue, but the vast majority is tied up in direct sponsor integrations because your production burn rate is terrifying. You are pulling 60-hour weeks, and your personal life is entirely swallowed by production schedules. You take 5 days off to breathe, and your traffic drops off a cliff, taking 6 weeks of aggressive uploading just to stabilize the baseline. The treadmill is moving faster than you can run. Phase 5 is the corporate scale-up. You breach 10 million subscribers. The diamond play button shows up, and corporate agencies start circling your business. Your channel is no longer a creative outlet. It is a full-scale media network. You sign a commercial lease on an industrial warehouse studio, moving production out of your home entirely. You are securing multi-video corporate sponsorships and designing massive collaborative events with the biggest names on the web. The money is staggering, but the psychological pressure is suffocating. You are no longer a creator in a dark room. You are a CEO responsible for a team of people who rely on your upload schedule to pay their rent. Every single video carries the structural survival of a small company. You are incredibly wealthy, but you are completely exhausted. You want a creative magnum opus that survives past the weekend traffic cycle, so you make the ultimate gamble. You bypass traditional media distribution entirely, self-financing a live-action, feature-length horror movie out of your own pocket. The production is a high-stakes nightmare. You spend months on a physical, dimly lit set navigating practical effects failures, crew logistics, and a ballooning budget that threatens your entire company. The post-production phase requires months of deliberate, excruciating radio silence on your main hub, making the eventual return to your channel a high-stakes, cultural internet event where millions of fans are intensely waiting for your next move. Phase 6 is the mega-tier execution. You cross 100 million subscribers, the red diamond milestone. Your independent feature film premieres at a packed theater. You stand in the lobby, looking at a line of fans that wraps completely around the block, people who bought plane tickets just to see your vision on a big screen. As the auditorium house lights fade, you slip into a seat in the back row. The projector strikes, cutting a massive beam of light through the darkness. Your opening title card hits the screen. You look around the room. A decade ago, you were 19, sitting alone in a townhouse bedroom, screaming into a cheap headset mic, looking for an escape in an indifferent online space. You watch the cinematic shadows stretch across the walls, and as the film's first major sequence builds to its peak, you listen to a live, breathing audience of hundreds of people gasp in absolute unison at a nightmare you built from scratch. The person who designed the empire is now an employee of the pace it demands. A dream job is still a job, and the system that found you in a dark room at 19 is still running. Indifferent, infinite, and always demanding the next nightmare.